Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 18th. We're just going to jump right in here, Aries, and we're going to see what is going on for you this week. And that'll be that. So let's see here. I have a feeling, this whole entire deck's upside down. I don't know. That's been the name of the game for me lately. But let's see. And also, my camera just went out, although I think it's still recording, so we're just going to go with it. But let's see here. Also, I'm having to use this tiny little table, which is just not, things are not perfect, but that's life, right, Aries? So we're going to make it work. But you start off with this Solar Calm card. And again, I don't know if this is actually going to be picking it up on here or not, but we'll see. This card is about kind of things calming down. It even says clarify on it. And I feel a lot of clarity coming in for you. In your first row, you have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords can represent a lot of clarity coming in for you in your life. You also have this learning card next, and again, the learning card can definitely have a lot to do with, not just learning, but kind of gaining clarity. It's like when we become more educated, when we learn new things, then we can become, we gain more clarity is what I'm trying to spit out here. So I feel there's a lot of clarity coming in for you. For a lot of you, I do feel that this has to do with love in your life, like what you expect as far as love is concerned, or like, do you want love and all those other things. So I feel like your feelings about love are gaining clarity. I also feel like you're kind of like outside of love. I feel like your place in the world even. You have the Two Wands, and my thing about the Two Wands is that it can represent great progress. To me, everything about this reading is basically screaming great progress, or is referring to progress in some way. Again, you have the Ace of Swords here, and again, sorry if it's not clarifying. I can't see whether or not it's focusing. But you have the Ace of Swords, the Five of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles here. Ace of Swords is a great card of clarity. It's also a card of victories as well. So I do feel there are some like wins or victories. You show up as a King of Wands, and that really tells me that you're kind of entering into this place where there's your confirmation for you right there, right? But I feel like you're entering into this place where you're kind of like more comfortable taking the lead. You have the King of Wands, and that's what I feel intuitively is like you're more comfortable taking the lead. You're more comfortable, and that doesn't necessarily mean a leadership position, although it could, but I feel like you're more comfortable just making decisions in your life. I do feel that there has been some sort of, I wouldn't really call it a sacrifice, but some sort of separation. So for some of you, I feel like you could be leaving behind a water sign here in your reading. You have the Queen of Cups as your center card. If it's not a water sign, I feel like some of you could be leaving a person who you kind of had a deep emotional connection with. And it looks like you're just deciding like what your heart really wants. For some of you, if you're leaving a connection, I kind of get the feeling that this was a connection that the universe really wanted you to learn from with this learning card. So again, if you're leaving a love connection, I feel like you just need to know that, basically the universe wanted you to learn from this situation. And again, it's kind of funny with this Seven of Pentacles. I just feel like a great sense of clarity here. But, the type of clarity I'm getting is more like, I feel like the clarity you have gained is like exactly what you want an experience to be in your life. The Two Wands, the whole point of the Two Wands is that traditionally, and again, you have the Two Wands right here. Traditionally, the Two Wands, he has like rushed to a finish line. So, it can come up maybe where we rush into a relationship, and then we kind of think, this is all that relationships have to offer. The Two Wands normally has a whole world in his hands. It's kind of like a card that says maybe you rushed into something, and now you're looking out at whatever it is you rushed into, and you're saying, and maybe you're thinking this is as good as it gets, but he has a whole world in his hands. It kind of says like, no, there's a lot more for you to experience. And so I do feel, and what I'm saying here with the Seven of Pentacles is, again, I kind of feel like you're seeing like what you want something to be. So again, if it's love, I feel like you're seeing how you want future love relationships to go. It's like you're seeing how you want, what you want to experience before you even have it. Same thing in like work, business, otherwise. So if this isn't love for you, I feel like it's anything that your heart is attached to. You have this, beautiful uncaging card at the end. and it's kind of a card of something that your heart is attached to. So I feel like all those situations, this clarity that you're gaining is, you know, kind of leading you towards what you really want. Again, you have this Sacred Ibis card. It says learning on it, and I feel, again, that you have clearly learned quite a bit, is what I would say to you. I'm getting a lot of things here. You have the Nine of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the Moon. Again, I do get some of you could be kind of like moving away from a water sign. I kind of feel like it's your choice, really, at this point, or, you know, that you are the one that is making this decision. I don't really feel like it's them. You know, it's a general reading, take how it resonates, but for most of you, I feel like it's you. I feel like you learned a lot. You have this Nine of Swords. I am getting a lot of things on this Nine of Swords. For some of you, it's kind of like popping into my head that you, like, I feel like you have learned how your emotions, your attitude, how you wake up in the morning, the things you surround yourself with. I feel like you're learning, like, how those things, you know, how they affect your life. And you know, I feel like you're learning, you know, what you're kind of like what you're capable of doing. Obviously, I don't have my whole setup yet. It's being moved, but, you know, here I am in my new studio, right? And it's not set up yet. So this isn't exactly what it's going to look like, right? But it's like, in my old place, I just, like, wasn't feeling it, right? And I'm telling you this because I have a lot of energy in Aries myself. And, you know, I kind of feel this energy for you. And I am a Jupiter in Aries, you know, when I was born. And Jupiter's in Aries right now. So, you know, I feel for a lot of you, you could be making some changes based off of, like, how things make you feel. I had to make this change because of how I felt, right? And it's like I was in my old space for, like, over a year, right? And I just didn't quite feel right. Nothing wrong with the space, you know? Nothing wrong with anything going on there. Just didn't feel right to me, right? And so I kind of feel that on the Nine of Swords, where if you feel like you need to change your space, this could be in work, in business, anything, then I feel this reading is encouraging you to change your space. I feel like it'll have a huge, huge impact. And again, just to give you some examples, people always say, like, I don't have the money to change my space. I'm like, you know, do what you can with what you got. You know, it's like in my office, if I didn't have the money to move, I could have repainted the walls white. I could have, you know, added more plants. I could have, there are a million things I could have tried, right? So again, if you don't, you know, I would say do the best you can with this Nine of Swords. The reason, again, I'm saying that is sometimes I feel like with the Nine of Swords, we kind of can be a little bit too stuck in the stinking thinking, and we don't look for solutions. You know, we start looking for more of the limitation, if that makes sense. So I feel it's kind of weird because, again, I feel good about the Nine of Swords in your reading. I feel like it is kind of like the thing that is pushing you more towards success. But again, I would, you know, make sure that you're kind of looking for the solution. You have the Queen of Cups here. I'm getting a lot about something emotionally. I'm pretty sure I said this in one of your last readings, something about emotions, and it's definitely coming up for me here in your reading this week as well, where I feel like emotions or something about emotions is just popping into my head. I feel like there's some sort of connection with emotions, or there's something going on here with your emotions, like how you feel about things, you know, and I feel like it's, for whatever reason, I feel like it could be making you more successful or less successful depending on how you feel, like in love, in business, in work, every area of your life. With this last beautiful uncaging card, it's almost like you have learned how to use your feelings. And you have the Moon. The Moon is all about emotions. So I really feel that a lot of you are either learning how to control your emotions here in this reading, or you are more trusting your kind of like feelings, like how you feel about something, right? And it's leading to changes. You have this beautiful, beautiful uncaging card, and excuse me, this card is all about opening up your heart, but I feel this is happening in all areas of your life. You are definitely feeling more like yourself. You have the Two Wands, the King of Wands, and the Four of Cups. Two Wands, like I said, I feel a little bit of stinking thinking here, you know, Four of Cups, you're trying to manifest things, but it doesn't look exactly like what you want to manifest. That's the whole point of the Four of Cups. The Two Wands is about taking the lead, being bold, being assertive, with that King of Wands, especially the combination, like really going out into the world and kind of taking control and making things happen. And that's what I feel like you're doing here with this Two Wands. Again, the Two Wands, he's holding that world, but he doesn't realize that there's so much more for him to experience, and that's what I feel like you need to realize. I kind of look at the Two Wands sometimes, you know, as, again, he's rushed to a finish line, but I kind of look at it as like, again, accomplishing something, right? And it is a card of progress, but kind of being like, wow, this is it. But he doesn't realize that he's only at the beginning, he's not at the end, right? And I kind of feel that energy for you, where I feel like you need to realize you're at the beginning of something, you're not at the end of something. Weird, but I like it. You have the King of Wands here. I feel like you're just sitting pretty here, Aries. I feel like you're in your strength. I feel like you're in a position of power and strength as well. I love these two cards together. Like I said, Two of Wands, King of Wands. Two Wands is a good card, don't get me wrong. But again, I feel like Two Wands needs a little bit of a kick in the butt, right? And here it is, right here, King of Wands. The kick in the butt is coming from yourself. So it's kind of like you're motivating yourself here. This is probably why, again, something isn't right in your life. That's the feeling I get. Pretty simple reading, Aries, for the most part. And oh my God, I saw something moving over here, and there's a freaking raccoon just like walking in my yard. How crazy is that? Wildlife, amazing, right? But so you might want to look up raccoon, or the meaning of the raccoon and things like that. Again, funny enough, I'm pretty sure in the Ted Andrews Animal Speaks book that the raccoon, they use their hands, and it's all about how something feels to them. So, you know, there you go, more about feeling and emotion and things like that. All right, so let's see, we're gonna just clarify through here and see what is going on for you. With the Ace of Swords, you have the King of Swords. King of Swords is a card of kind of law and order. And again, I feel that for you here. I wouldn't really say it's like, you know, anything karmic or anything like that, but I do feel an energy more of like law and order here with the King of Swords. With the Five of Swords, you have the Queen of Wands. So you have the King and Queen of Wands. This is what's coming in for you if you are wanting love. King and Queen of Wands are definitely divine counterparts. They have like a much better connection. And I do feel that, again, if you're leaving a relationship at this time, then I feel you're entering into something where it's like both people are putting in the work, is what I'm getting here with the King of Wands. I'm also getting something about a dog as well. So I don't know, you might meet a person with a dog, or you know, there might be a person coming in for you who has a dog, or maybe you have a dog and they meet your dog, and that's how this happens. I don't know. It's just popping into my head. But again, I feel like there's a lot of connection, a very strong connection with the Queen of Wands. Again, if you're already in a relationship and things are going well, people always ask me this question, and I'm always like, take what resonates, leave the rest. If you're in a good relationship, stay in the relationship. Obviously, that part's not for you. I'm reading for like a billion people. But if you're in something positive, then you know, I think things are fine. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Five of Pentacles. Again, feeling left out in the cold. Again, if you're leaving a connection, I feel like you're just not getting, you know, you're not getting the original agreement, right? I see this problem in modern day relationships all the time, where it's like, you know, I feel like we enter into relationships with an agreement. Maybe we don't verbalize the agreement, but we do things a certain way in the relationship. And then once the commitment happens, it's like we stop doing those things. And I'm saying we because we all do it, right? And so I feel like that needs to stop, right? I'm a big fan of, if you're going to be in a relationship, you know, then both people need to work on keeping the romance alive, right? Eventually, after too much crazy stuff happens in the relationship, or after you see them clipping their toenails in your bed, that's my favorite, or they do their dishes the wrong way, maybe they don't know how to cut their vegetables when they're making soup, I don't know, doesn't matter, but the whole point is, after too much of that, you know, kind of, they start looking a little, you know, not so great. So we have to work to make sure to keep the romance alive. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Again, wanting a change. You know, the whole entire reading is very simple, because I feel like the whole entire reading is just saying that you want things to be different in your life. Maybe there's an element here of being ready. I feel like maybe you are just more ready than you have been to make the change. You know, things have to get to a certain point. It's like one of my favorite stories all the time, that I would tell all the time. You know, there's a story, I think it's Les Brown who tells a story. He talks about a guy whose dog is laying on his deck and always howling and barking and crying. And so eventually, you know, the neighbor goes to the guy who owns the dog and says, hey, why is your dog always barking, crying, and howling? And he says, why is he doing that? And the guy says, because he's laying on a nail. So the guy says, why doesn't he get up and leave? Because it hasn't become painful enough, right? We all stay in situations that are probably making us howl, bark, and cry for too long. And I kind of see that here. That's why I'm telling you the story. I paraphrased. The story's much better than the way I told it. But, you know, what I would say here is, I feel like some of you, it's like the nail is getting a little bit sharper. It's digging in deeper here. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Five of Swords. You have Five of Swords twice, walking away from something. I just feel, I don't feel anything, you know, basically, I don't feel anything about separations or, you know, it's more of a walking away energy is what I'm trying to get out here. With that Moon card, you have the Hangman. Some of you could be walking away from a Pisces. For others, for some of you, could be walking towards a Pisces. I feel like Pisces has been showing up in your reading a lot. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's you. For others, I feel like this is more like, what are you waiting for? Energy, moon, hangman, two of wands. It's kind of like you have an idea. I feel like if you don't get moving, then, there could be some problems. For some of you, again, seeing the freaking raccoon, it's like this could be something that involves your hands. So I feel like some of you could be like wanting to work with your hands more. You could be wanting to do something with your hands. Again, that's what popped into my head when I saw the little guy over here, just chilling. He's gone now, otherwise I would show you. But, that's kind of like what I get. With the two of wands, you have the Five of Cups. Again, like wanting to make the change, right? The Five of Cups, normally he's looking at those, cups in front of him, the three cups that are spilt over. And the whole story with the Five of Cups is that he's lost his taste for wine. If he turned around, he wouldn't just get the two cups. He would also get the bridge and the castle. Everything is adding up to something being much better than you realize. But really, I don't even think that's the right way to put it. I think you're at the beginning of something, you're not at the end. It's like mindset-wise, maybe you feel like you're at the end of something, but really it's just a new beginning. With the King of Wands, you have the Ten of Wands. I'm getting a lot of stuff about work. There's a lot of work coming into your life here, I do feel that a lot of you are. And I don't even think this is a bad thing. I kind of feel like this is a good thing. I feel for a lot of you that you're going to be either becoming extremely busy or there is a lot of busyness coming in for you here with the Ten of Wands. And finally, with the Four of Cups, you have the King of Cups. You have the King and Queen of Cups here. So again, two divine counterpart setups here, which is very interesting. Definitely could be love coming in for you. Really, King of Cups is sitting normally in choppy waters and he doesn't really care. So he's perfectly stable no matter what. So he's like the card of truly being in control of his emotions, and he definitely is. So pretty simple stuff. Again, I feel like you're at the beginning, not the end, is really what I'm getting here. So thank you for being here, Aries. Really appreciate it. This looks like an awesome reading, so thank you. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.